Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're taking a trip to the majestic peaks of Romania to explore one of the absolute most fascinating and honestly heavily debated landscapes in the entire world. We're talking about the Bucegi Mountains. Now, if you've spent literally any time looking into the mysteries of the ancient world, you've definitely bumped into the incredibly wild folklore surrounding this specific spot. I mean, it's this crazy intersection where stunning geology meets some of the most intense internet mythology out there. We're talking wild, unverified rumors of secret intelligence agencies covertly mapping the depths of these peaks. It's a lot to unpack.
So the Bucegi Mountains are totally legendary in modern mythology. We're constantly hearing these persistent rumors about hidden underground tunnels, massive subterranean chambers, and even claims of ancient non-human technology buried deep beneath the rock. Now, let me just be super clear right out of the gate here. There is zero official proof for these incredible claims. None. But for our explainer today, our goal isn't just a fact check, it's to understand the phenomenon itself. We're going to look at exactly why this specific geographical location acts like a magnet for such incredible supernatural stories. Like, what is it about this mountain that just captures the human imagination so fiercely?
Which brings us to the ultimate question we're tackling today. Are we simply looking at stunning, wind-carved rocks and just letting our imaginations run wild? Or is there actually an ancient, energetic portal at work here? To figure that out, we need a totally different framework, something that goes way beyond modern geology and internet conspiracy theories. We need a way to literally read the energy of the landscape itself. Okay, so let's dive into this by putting on our Vedic glasses. The Vedic lens is this ancient philosophical framework, originating from India, and it's basically a system specifically designed to interpret the energetic qualities, the foundational elements, and the deep cosmic archetypes of the physical world around us. By using this lens to decode the energetic blueprint of the Bucegi landscape, we can start to uncover exactly why this mountain generates such a profound, almost overwhelming sense of mystery.
All right, let's jump into Section 1, the three governing elements.
To begin decoding this blueprint, we really have to look at the foundational building blocks of the mountain's energy. In the Vedic tradition, every mountain range is governed by a unique combination of elements, or tattvas. And notice how perfectly the Bucegi Mountains map onto these three specific tattvas. First up, we have Prithvi, the earth element. This gives the mountain its dense stability and what the Vedic tradition calls geological memory. It's the grounding force. Next is Vayu, the air element. Think about the millennia of relentless wind that's literally sculpted these rocks into highly expressive, almost speaking shapes. And finally, we have Akasha, or space. Bucegi is super famous for its natural cavities and deep caves. In the Vedic framework, these hollow spaces amplify the Akasha element, acting as a sort of cosmic archive. Think of it like a massive acoustic echo chamber, but for ancestral memory. When you combine these three, naturally, the deep earth, the sculpting wind, and those resonant hollow spaces, the mountain essentially becomes a kshetra, a sacred field of energy. Moving on to Section 2, planetary archetypes at play.
So let's see how these earthly elements actually connect to the cosmos, because earthly elements don't exist in a vacuum. Let's map out the planetary archetypes active right now in the Bucegi Mountains. First, we have Saturn, or Shani. Saturn is the guardian of ancient structures. It represents time, endurance, and testing, and the ancient, heavily weathered rocks of Bucegi perfectly embody this intense guardian energy. Next, and this is where it gets really interesting, look at Rahu, the north node. Rahu governs mystery, secrecy, and anomalies. This brilliantly illustrates why those wild myths of secret tunnels and non-human technology thrive here. I mean, that is pure Rahu energy. Then we have Ketu, the south node. This represents karmic memory, and it's often associated with underground spaces, caves, and deep meditation. Finally, Jupiter, or Guru, brings the archetype of ancient wisdom. And we see this perfectly reflected in the local Daco-Thracian traditions that connect these exact mountains to their initiator god, Zalmoxis. It's a landscape that is just absolutely saturated with these deep cosmic forces.
Which brings us to Section 3, monuments of Maya, the Sphinx and the Babele.
Now let's shift our focus to the physical anchors of all this energy, the specific, tangible rock formations that make Bucegi world famous. But before we look at the rocks themselves, let's introduce a really fascinating concept, a yantra. While a lot of people think of a yantra as just a drawn geometric diagram, in the Vedic framework it can actually be a natural or artificial physical device, one that physically modulates subtle energy, which is known as prana, as well as subtle memory. Keep that definition in the back of your mind as we look at Bucegi's most famous resident,
The Bucegi Sphinx. Now, geologically, yes, it is absolutely a magnificent natural rock formation shaped over thousands of years by wind and ice. But when we apply our Vedic lens, we see this fascinating yes, but scenario. Yes, it's natural, but its highly symmetrical, face-like shape actually functions as a powerful Saturnian yantra. It's acting as a guardian, a sentinel, a mandala of protection. Because of its specific geometry, the Vedic reading suggests it serves as a literal focal point for ascending prana. Its anthropomorphic, human-like shape makes it a natural meditative portal. Honestly, have you ever stood near a massive ancient monument and just felt a really heavy protective presence? That is exactly what we're talking about here.
To understand the next famous set of formations right near the Sphinx, we need to pull another tool out of our Vedic toolkit: Maya, the concept of illusion. It's essentially Mother Nature's ultimate optical illusion. It describes forms in the physical world that appear to be one thing, like, say, artificially carved monuments, but are actually something entirely different. And here we have the Babele, the famous mushroom-shaped rocks of Bucegi. These are the absolute, literal embodiment of Vayu, the wind element that sculpted them, and pure Maya, illusion. When you stand right in front of them, human perception is naturally tricked. They look undeniably artificial, like giant, deliberately carved stone mushrooms, yet they are completely 100% natural. This natural ambiguity taps directly into that mysterious Rahu energy we discussed earlier. It dramatically alters human perception, creating an environment where the mind easily bridges the gap between the everyday world and the supernatural. And that naturally generates these modern myths of anomalies and strange phenomena.
Okay, Section 4, the ultimate archive, Maha Akasha Mandir. We've looked at the elements, the planets, and the rocks. Now, we're going to bring it all together to understand the overarching spiritual function of the entire mountain range. When you combine the deeply rooted Prithvi earth, the sculpting Vayu wind, the resonant Akasha space, and those planetary archetypes of mystery and memory, the Bucegi Mountains become what is called a Maha Akasha Mandir. That translates to a great natural temple of space. It operates as a massive resonance point between the earth and the sky. Because of its unique energetic blueprint, it functions as a natural archive of ancient civilizations, constantly amplifying vital energy. Consequently, it naturally serves as a portal for non-ordinary states of consciousness. It's a place where earthly reality and subtle memory physically overlap.
So check out this stark contrast right here. On one side, we have the contemporary internet folklore, alien technology, secret bases, artificial chambers. But on the other side, we have the Vedic function, Rahu's secrecy, Saturn's hidden ancient structures, and Ketu's deep karmic memory. And here's the huge takeaway. Whether or not physical, literal bases exist underground is entirely beside the point in this framework. The energetic combination of Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn is the signature of a portal. The natural energy of the mountain acts as a massive consciousness amplifier. It is literally structured to alter perception and generate these exact types of myths and non-ordinary experiences within the human mind.
Which leaves us with this final thought. If a completely natural landscape, just through its elemental makeup and planetary resonance, possesses the sheer power to alter human consciousness and spawn global myths of the supernatural, do we really need physical, hidden alien technology to call it magic? Isn't the fact that the Earth itself can do this to us profound enough? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this gives you a completely new, structured lens through which to view the incredible mysteries of our natural world. Until next time, keep exploring and keep asking questions.